Folie. Get what you fucking deserve!
Okay, so last night I went to see Joker, Folie à Deux. Right, from here on in, I'm just going to refer to this as Joker 2. There were things in this film that I really did like, and there was an awful lot in this film that I really didn't. I'll start with what I did like. It was well shot, it was well acted, and it looked great. The cinematography was excellent. The courtroom drama stuff was also pretty good, and I enjoyed the moments where Joker is defending himself in full Joker makeup and even using a different accent. Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, or Lee Quinzel, was also great. She started out as a fangirl obsessed with Arthur or Joker, and she becomes more of an influence upon Arthur as the film goes on. And she seems to be quite coercive and somewhat controlling. A bit of a flip to the toxic relationship between the characters in the comics and other media. Brendan Gleeson was also really good in this film, but I was hoping that his character would get his comeuppance in the end, but it just didn't happen. The film is quite slow, and it did take its time to really get going, to the point where I did actually find myself getting a bit bored at times. In the end, it turns out that Joker isn't an alternative personality, and it was indeed Arthur all along. The Joker makeup that he wears is a mask for him to hide behind, and it gives him the confidence to fight back against a world that let him down, as portrayed in the previous film. Lee loses all of her love for Arthur when he states that he's not the Joker, and Joker never really existed. The idea of the Joker is what Lee is attracted to. It's almost like the don't meet your heroes because they'll never live up to your expectations. I would say that there is a clear message about toxic fandom in there. What I didn't like, other than the pacing and how long it took to get going, was the musical numbers. At first I thought that this was an interesting way to further explore Arthur's imagination and how he could express himself, but the musical scenes would come out of nowhere at times, and it really did slow the narrative down. And I was just waiting for it to end so that the film can just get back on track with telling the story. It felt like a big shift from that first film. Then another musical number would start, and I was just like, nah, I'm not enjoying this. It really slowed the film down, and it just felt like padding, as if there wasn't enough material to tell this narrative, so it needed something to increase the runtime. It just made the film move along at a snail's pace. Although there was one musical scene that was really good, and that was in the courtroom where Joker kills Harvey Dent with a wooden stool and the judge with his gavel. I thought that was brilliant. I was hoping that after the first film, Arthur would embrace the Joker persona more, and Todd Phillips would dive further into the Joker becoming more like the classic villain, but Arthur's character didn't really seem to change. He was still his withdrawn, pathetic, narcissistic self, craving attention and looking like a beaten man, the way he was at the start of the first film. There was very little character development and growth from that first film, and Joker was unraveled to the point where it just feels pointless. Then there was the ending. Lee leaves Arthur, who's then recaptured by the police after he escapes the courtroom that was destroyed by a car bomb. And this is where you see Harvey Dent with bad injuries down one side of his face, because references. Lee just turns out to be a shallow character. Again, a critique upon toxic fandom. I did feel that Lady Gaga was probably underutilized, except for the musical scenes where she obviously excels. In the final scene, Arthur is stabbed to death by a fellow inmate who previously admired him from afar, being shown throughout the film to be one of Joker's many followers. He brutally lashes out due to his disappointment, with Arthur stating that he's not the Joker and the Joker never really existed. The inmate kills Arthur whilst laughing, and as the camera holds on Arthur's face as he dies, you can see the inmate, albeit blurred out, using a knife to carve the Joker-esque smile into his face, just like Heath Ledger's Joker. Again, laughing as he does it. It's a moment that massively hints that Fleck's Joker is the inspiration to the true clown prince of crime that becomes Batman's nemesis, and this ties the Joker films closer into the main Batman narrative. It offers a sort of origin to the character, and this would certainly divide audiences. I mean, I felt that it was an interesting idea, but ultimately it's kind of pointless. I'm really not sure how I feel about this film. The first Joker film was a standalone character study that can be viewed away from the main Batman story, although it does set the Batman story up with the Waynes being killed at the end of that film. This film wasn't intended to be made, but because of how successful the first film was, Warner's must have made an offer to Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix that they just couldn't turn down. It does look to me as if Phillips was given free rein to do whatever he wanted, and he wanted to do something left field with the musical elements. I can't help but feel that he's either trolling the studio or all the fans that wanted the sequel. If you're a fan of the first film, I don't think you're really going to like this one. Like I said, I did like large parts of this film, and I also hated large parts of it because ultimately it just felt a bit flat. It really wasn't something that was needed to be made. Although it looks great, I would say it's not one of those films that you have to go and see in cinema. You can wait for it to come out on Blu-ray or 4K or even streaming. I might have a different opinion on this film in years to come. These are just my initial thoughts. What did you think of Joker 2? Did you like the musical elements? And what did you think of that ending? Let me know in the comments below. I've been Colin from the Critical Cinema Club. Thank you very much for watching this review. Take care.